Ever thrown away money on a blender that promised the world but couldn't even crush ice? Sound of a weak motor straining and failing. We've all been there. That's why our team went on a mission, a brutal, no-holds-barred testing spree against 25 of the top blenders on the market. We pushed them to their absolute limits. And what we found wasn't just surprising, it was shocking. Some premium brands failed miserably, while an underdog absolutely dominated. Today, we're revealing the only 5 blenders that deserve your hard-earned cash in 2025. The results might just blow your mind. Starting at number 1. Vitamix Explorian E310. The Vitamix Explorian E310 is a good option if you want something more affordable. This blender has a much simpler design, with no automatic blending programs or screen, and it comes with a smaller 48-ounce jar, which you may or may not prefer. It's just as good as the Vitamix A3500 for blending small batches of ingredients like single-serve smoothies. While it's a little slower at blending big batches, it still makes a nearly perfectly smooth puree with fibrous additions like fruit and leafy greens in big batches of soups or smoothies. It also makes snow-like crushed ice, and its smaller jar helps it process recipes like nut butter or hummus faster and without any stopping and scraping. However, it's noticeably louder than the A3500. Also, its lack of blending programs and a digital display means you have to monitor it and stop it yourself. That said, it still offers a wide range of speed settings and a fantastic build quality. Its jar and 2-part lid are dishwasher safe and easy to clean by hand. Number 2. Breville the Fresh and Furious. The best mid-range blender we've tested is the Breville the Fresh and Furious. You'll notice some downsides in this price range versus higher-end options. This blender isn't as well built as the Vitamix Explorian E310, especially the buttons on the motor base, which feel a bit flimsy. It has a 2-part lid for its 50-ounce jar but doesn't include a tamper, making stirring ingredients less convenient. That said, you don't have to compromise much where it matters most, as it has a fantastic performance for all kinds of recipes. While it blends fibrous ingredients slowly compared with previous picks, it makes an equally smooth blend with small and big batches of ingredients like kale, broccoli, and fruits. It's very easy to use for recipes like nut butter. This blender also makes snow-like crushed ice, although it works best if you stick with smaller batches of about 6 ice cubes. Unfortunately, though, it can't hot blend. If you want a mid-range blender for hot soups, you might prefer the Braun Triforce Power Pro JB9041BK. This very well-built blender can process hot ingredients in its main jar and comes with a personal jar for smoothies. It can also crush more ice at once. On the other hand, it makes a less smooth blend with big batches of fibrous ingredients, and it's very loud. Still, it's a good alternative. Number 3. Chefman Obliterator. The best budget blender we've tested is the Chefman Obliterator. It has a streamlined design and comes with a 48-ounce jar, which is a bit small for a full-sized blender, and a travel jar. It holds up well against pricier models, with better build quality and ice-crushing performance than our previous pick, the Breville the Fresh and Furious. This model also does a fantastic job blending fibrous ingredients in large and small batches. It also features an auto blend mode, which is rare for a blender in this price range and allows for more hands-off operation. On the downside, it's quite loud and struggles to process nut butter, requiring frequent stops to scrape the jar. Luckily, it's easy to clean, with a dedicated clean program and dishwasher-safe components. If you prefer a larger capacity option for making big batches of soups or smoothies, check out the Calphalon ActiveSense. It comes with a 64-ounce main jar as well as a personal jar for taking blended drinks on the go. Processing big batches of fibrous ingredients like broccoli, kale, and lentils is easier with this model than with the Chefman, and the results are exceptionally smooth. Unfortunately, it isn't as well built as the top picks here. It has wiggly buttons on the motor base and can move around on your counter when processing tougher ingredients. Number 4. Black+Decker Quiet Blender with Cyclone Glass Jar. The Black+Decker Quiet Blender with Cyclone Glass Jar is worth considering if you want a good blender for well under $100. This inexpensive blender stands out for its 48-ounce pitcher made of glass, which is more scratch and odor-resistant than plastic. There's also a plastic personal jar included that helps with blending smaller volumes of ingredients for single-serve smoothies. This blender delivers a solid overall performance, but it's best for recipes like smoothies or soups since you can use either jar to make a mostly smooth blend with fibrous ingredients like fruit and leafy greens. However, other aspects of its design and performance leave something to be desired. Aside from the glass jar, it doesn't feel very well built, with the main jar lid feeling particularly flimsy. If you make something like nut butter or hummus, ingredients tend to get flung to the sides of the jar, forcing you to use a spatula to scrape everything back toward the blades. It can only handle about 6 ice cubes at once and leaves behind some unprocessed chunks when crushing ice. If you plan to crush a lot of ice or make frozen drinks like slushies, consider the Ninja Professional Blender 1000 instead. It's not as versatile since it doesn't blend fibrous ingredients as smoothly and can't be used for hot blending, but it has no problem crushing a batch of 12 ice cubes into a snow-like consistency. Number 5. Vitamix Ascent X4. No blender is exactly quiet, but the roar of some super loud models makes them much less appealing. The Vitamix Ascent X4 is a newer blender from the brand, and while it's often more expensive than the Vitamix A3500, it's noticeably quieter. This blender comes with a 48-ounce jar instead of a 64-ounce jar and performs particularly well for recipes like nut butter or hummus. While it doesn't blend smoothies and soups as fast as the A3500, it makes smooth blends with small and big batches of fibrous ingredients. It also easily makes snow-like ice with a smaller batch of about 6 ice cubes. Its controls include 6 automatic blending programs and a plus 15-second button. This new lineup of Ascent X blenders also features a tamper holder, which you can fix on the side of the motor base or remove if you're not using it. The jar is dishwasher safe and quite easy to clean by hand. It also shares the A3500's fantastic build quality, with a stainless steel shell, although, unlike that model, it lacks cord storage. It's worth noting that the quietest full-size blender we've tested is the Vitamix Ascent X5. This blender offers a few more features over the Ascent X4, like a greater number of blending programs, but it performs essentially identically. It's also the most expensive Vitamix by far, and for most people, the extra cost won't be worth the noise difference. However, if you're prepared to shell out nearly $1,000 for a blender, it's quieter and definitely one of the top blenders on the market. So which of these kitchen giants will you crown champion, whether you're a smoothie fanatic or a soup master? All the links to check the latest prices and reviews for these top 5 blenders are waiting for you in the video description down below. If this review saved you from a bad buy, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It really helps the channel. Let me know in the comments which one you're getting. If you want to see more brutally honest reviews and kitchen gear showdowns, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. We're taking on food processors next and you won't want to miss it. Until then, blend on.